the cloud. Okay, we are recording. There you go. Okay.
Thank you.
So today what we're going to work on is a program, a smart plan that's going to be for contract to close. And I've got to get this started. All good. I'm going to show you how we're going to start this out. So and let's get that a little bigger. With a lot of things that you're going to do on command, when you're setting things up that are going to be sequential and have a lot of steps, I always recommend you start out with a pad of paper and think through what it is you want to do. So we're going to talk about today is how opportunities and tasks in opportunities will meld or will synchronize with a smart plan that will come up and remind you without your having to go into the opportunities. So, and the reason I do both is because sometimes you're just not staying on top day by day, to be honest, with all of the tasks that may be popping up in your task list in opportunities. Does anybody else identify with that? Luke, you don't have to confess to that if you don't want to. But does that make sense?
Sure.
And the smart plan, the whole point of the smart plan is it's going to help you not have to keep your conscious mind in the middle of that transaction all the time.
Yeah,
it helps
good,
to automate
in this market.
Right? Crazy. Yeah, right, Luke? Yeah, I entirely agree. So, and as I thought through this, and this is not necessarily going to be the be all end all for everything, and yet I think we may talk about some good concepts that you can take and apply. So I thought about how long did we want this smart plan to be, because transactions do have variables, don't they, in them as far as timing and all of that. So I broke it into two things. And the first is starting with the accepted offer, because I think that can be one smart plan that gives you some automation to improve your service to your client. And I think that's a huge concept to keep in your mind. So the under contract, what do you typically do when you get a transaction? And I'm going from the listing side now. So this is what happens when a listing goes into contract. So we create, where'd my mouse go? Where'd my cursor go? There it is. We create a contract information package, and we make sure all the closing parties are in command. That's a step that has been forgotten over time in my world so many times, and it's such a pain. So we make that a step. And I can send this document to all of you guys because I created it just as a PDF. So these are the steps and the tasks that we have in our opportunity. We send a little note about getting ready for inspections. We confirm the time for the inspection and we let the seller know. And then we confirm so who knows what EMD is? This is Sherry. This is Sherry's shorthand. Do you know what EMD is?
Earnest money deposit.
That Barbara, she's a smart cookie. That's exactly what it is. Confirm where that earnest money is, because is it going to different places sometimes? And one of the things that drives me insane is at the end of the transaction going, did we deposit a check? Did it go to the attorney? So we make a note. Where did that money go? And we put that in our opportunity notes. And then I pushed these other guys into the next group. So we've got one that's going to be accepted offer. And then I've got the contract to close. All right, so I've got two different smart plans. But you see how we've broken these out into the stages that are in the opportunities. So you see, and I'll go into command momentarily and show you. Accepted offer is a stage. Inspections is a stage. Everybody does their own stages. You pick what works for you. This is just the way we kind of think about these things. Appraisal is a stage. Financing is a stage. And then we go clear to close, because there's stuff that we do after clear to close as well. What we're going to do is, and I'm not going to complete this smart plan for you today, but I'm going to show you how to set it up so that you can make your own smart plan. Any questions thus far? All right. So where do we want to go first? I think we're just going to go to a smart plan. And the smart plan that we're going to use today, you'll see down here, I have, I was working on getting these two set up. So you know the mechanics of setting up a smart plan. You go to the smart plan library, or smart plan, I guess it is library, right? And then, and now I'm going to have to go back and scroll through again, sorry. You do create. And you can find some preset, and this is supposed to be growing, and I don't see it growing yet. Huh.
Excuse me, where do you find create?
Go back to my smart plans, and create is this button up in the right-hand corner. So on most of the command screens, if you want to create an opportunity, or you want to create a new contact, or you want to create a new smart plan, those create buttons are up in the right-hand corner. A lot of them, okay? So that's where you're going to commence. And then we go to the listing. Be sure you tag these things such that you're going to be able to know what you're looking at, right? So this is the listings accepted offer smart plan. And it has, I can do a quick overview and see what the tasks are that I have in here. And so this is at this point a 4-task smart plan. One is a touch task, second is a touch task. So this is preparation work for the contract information. And then we delay it by 1 day, because here's a quirk in the system. It's a rule in the system. You can only have 2 tasks before you have a delay. So just know that whether or not you actually need a day in between, you can't put more than 2 tasks in without putting a delay of at least 1 day. That's just the rule in the system. So then it has a delay, and I'm going to go in and show you how to install these, Barbara. Don't be concerned about that. And then there's another touch task, which is an interaction, and then there's an email, and that's my favorite part of this accepted offer, because it makes sure that some communication happens that's routine, the same every time, and that often gets forgotten. So now I'm going to just go in here and show you this plan and what it looks like. When you click on create a smart plan, you just have a blank slate on the left side here. And everything at the moment is triggered manually. So you have to launch the smart plan. It can't automatically launch itself. So the first task, and again, this is listing an accepted offer that's a listing. The first task is add all of the closing parties' contact info to command. Can you see how that could be helpful? How that will save you time and effort and frustration? So who are those closing parties? So you have the opportunity, and this is a task. Let's go back.
Debbie.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So are you creating contacts, like their own contacts for each party?
So I believe so, Chris. There's a possibility in the opportunity where you can add names, but I think it's still limited. I don't think that it has all of the roles.
Yeah.
So I believe that's the case. This is not my job. So, and I didn't confirm that.
Okay.
And I would tag them such that I just was able to remember who they were, right? The important thing is that you have access to them. So who do we, what do we need? We need their name, we need their email, we need their best phone, and then we tag them with a role. We'll tag them with a role. So we'll say buyer's agent or buyer's attorney or seller's attorney, right? So we know who they are. Why do we need their names and their emails?
So you know who they are and how to communicate with them.
What about DocuSign?
True. Very true.
Can we then set up the documents for them to sign in DocuSign if we have their email addresses?
Mm-hmm.
Think ahead. Yeah, plan ahead for that. I think that you save yourself a lot of headache if you know all of that up front.
Debbie, a question, please. Did you type names, emails, best phone, and tag with role? Or
Yes.
did you do that?
Yes, everything is, I'll show you a blank. Let's just add, I'm going to add create a task. It's going to go down to the bottom. So I just clicked once, and down at the bottom, I have a blank task. Okay. Remember, in this process, it doesn't matter if you make a mistake, because you can move and shift, you can delete, you can move them up, move them down, and just get rid of it. If you put something in, sometimes I'll click twice and get too many delays, you can delete them. It's not set in stone until it's set in stone. So this is just a task. And we'll just call this, oh, you know what we're going to call this? We're going to, at the end, it's not going to be a task. I'm going to take that out, but I'm going to add to a smart plan. So remember, this is listing accepted offer. What smart plan do you think I want to go to when this is done?
Closing?
It's going to give you your list of what you've got in there already. Listing contract to close. So now that listing contract to close, should, I haven't tested this yet, that should it should automatically launch when I get down to that day, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to take this out. I do want to remove that task. All right. So now at the end, it's going to move over to that smart plan. I think this is just like, oh, I love this. So this is a pretty simple smart plan. It's just setting up your contract information. The second task is create contract info sheet and deliver offer package to closing parties. And in the task description, here's where you give yourself your reminders. That is going to include contract info, signed offer, pre-approval letter, signed disclosures, and a copy of the binder check and where it is being deposited. And then I say post that on the contract info sheet so you know where it frigging is. I mean, oh my goodness. Okay, does that make sense? Are you good? And then in your task, each task block, you have another opportunity to put a hyperlink in. So if there's some kind of document that you want to have access to, perhaps you want to, so one of the things that we do is we keep a spreadsheet in Google Drive of where all the transactions are. I could put that hyperlink right there, and once this task was done, you could click on that hyperlink, go to that Google Drive document and check that off. In fact, I kind of like that idea. I think I'm going to do it. So we're going to go in here. And then you're not going back and forth and back and forth. Do you see how this integration simplifies your life? That's a document that I know is shared with me. And it is, that's website tracking. She probably calls it, let's see. Transaction. You know what, I'm gonna put this in there. This is an old one. I don't know what she calls it now. Oh, that's just a checklist. This is the idea. Whatever that document is, you grab that URL up at the top and you paste it right there. And when they're in there, they can just go right back to that document. I have to go find the proper spreadsheet and put it in there, but that's the process. Good. And then you can also choose here. This is interesting. I don't know that I realized this. You can, maybe without a delay, you can say that you would do that in 1 or 2 or 3 days. It's right there on the task list. Those two things typically are done in the first day. Then we have a delay, and then we have another task. And then one of the tasks is send an email. So typically, inspections are performed within 2 to 7 or 10 days, right? Is that right? That's your experience?
Mhm.
I have an email to the sellers that's ready to go, and it's kind of neutral. This would require, at some point, you're going to have a phone call to the sellers that confirms the time and the day of the inspection. But this email gives them all those instructions that you go through time after time after time on the phone, pain in the neck, that include, yay, here we are, here it's the beginning of what we call contract to close, and there are a number of predictable steps that will be happening in the next few weeks. And then it talks about the inspection, and it reminds them to close all of their windows the night before, so the inspector isn't irritated when he gets there and the windows are open. This is what's going to be inspected. You're going to be out of your house for about 3 hours. Congratulations. We'll be talking often in the next couple of weeks. And it automatically goes out. I don't know about you, but I like tingle with excitement about that. I think that's so cool. So then you just remember to click the save button, and that will save any changes that you made. Questions? Any questions? Are you ready to go create your contract to close?
I have a question. For that auto email that goes out, what do you do if you need to alter something specific to that deal?
I would do that with a phone call.
Okay.
I would keep this as templated as it is, because it really has all of that information in it, and it gives them a place to go back and refer to.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have to, you still have to have conversations with them. That last bit is no joke. You're going to be making phone calls. This is just to make sure that you don't have to say all those words every single time.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a huge efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then we'll just briefly, how are we doing? We're doing okay. We'll go to the next one, and you'll see how it picks up, where we left off. I really believe that these two are kind of different. So, oh, silly thing. Why did you do that? And we'll go here and look at this. And I really have just started this. So here's exactly to your point, Luke. You've sent that email out a couple of days before the inspection, and then this smart plan launches right after that, right? And the first task says, call the seller to confirm the inspection.
Okay.
So that's make a call and confirm that they will be there. And call the seller, and I have called the buyer agent. Has anybody ever had an inspection where my system is I go kind of at the end of the inspection usually and just make sure everything's fine, and you go to the inspection and there's no buyer agent there? Oh, that's not good. So that's just a reminder to double check on that. And then we have a delay of 7 days, and then call the buyer agent to check in on the mortgage. And then whatever else was on, whoops, hello, there we go. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Gonna make that bigger. Oh, it's not behaving. Why is it not behaving? I'm not sure why I'm not getting that frame. Oh well. But then you go back to your list of tasks in your transaction sequence, and just keep adding tasks. Any questions about the mechanics of this? You see you have create a task, make a call, send an email, send a text, delays, or add to a smart plan. And restart the flow will not apply to this contract to close.
So Debbie, this make a call. So how it will remind you to make a call? You will get any notification, or you have to keep tracking?
You should, and we haven't proven this yet. You should get this on the front page of your command. So do you have your tasks at the top of your home page on command? So you can move those around through settings. You can rearrange your, or you can, no, you do it right here actually. You see that button, customize home?
Mm-hmm.
You can put whatever you want at the top. And I would recommend that you have tasks at the top. And then you have the habit of every morning going in there and seeing what tasks need to be done. And again, I haven't proven this yet, but I believe that those tasks from the SMART plan will come to you through that window.
Okay.
Anything else? Other questions? Let me just look at who is on here. Where is my screen? I'm going to stop the share so I can see the participants. And I know that Chris and Donna were on. Was anybody else on? Does anybody remember anybody else? Because I'll send you those contract to close lists if you would like. Would that be helpful? And then edit them to your heart's content. Make it work for you, but it gives you something to start from.
Yes, yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
please.
That's very helpful. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So I'm just going to do this and good. Okay. Cool beans.
Thank you so much.
All right, guys. You're so welcome. I
Thank
love
you.
this. So
Thank you, Debbie.
next week, I'm going to actually be on a road trip. Oh boy, because we're going to see that new little baby.
Oh.
I'm very excited. So I'm going to skip next week, but then we'll go into the following week. And what did I hear today that I thought we would work on? So oh, I know, it's social media. I want to spend some time on social media and scheduling your posts and coming up with a social media calendar that helps you be consistent. So would that be good?
Very
Yes.
Okay, it'll be a
Excellent.
little shift in the topic, a little shift in what we're talking about. I thought it would be kind of fun. So not next week, but 2 weeks from today. Okay?
Sure. Yeah.
Have a wonderful trip.
Thank you. Okay, guys.
Bye.
And
See you
good
soon.
trip and congrats with the new baby, the new addition in your family.
Oh,
Yeah,
you-
share the picture.
You know what? Can I show you one right now? It's like, I can't even believe this little kid. He's so like crazy cute. I mean, all babies are cute, right? But this, oh my goodness. This was what his daddy sent me yesterday.
Oh.
Oh,
How adorable.
my daughter-in-law said, Carter, those hands that are like, oh please. Carter's saying, please come visit me. I'm tired of looking at my daddy's face.
So where are you going, Debbie?
Ohio.
Oh,
We're
wow,
driving
it's a
to
long,
Ohio.
long drive.
10 hours. It's
Yeah, 10
hours.
hours.
I'm packing my, my everything bag because we don't want to stop any more than we have to. We're going to aim to do one stop in 10 hours. What do you think?
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Good luck.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Very good. Thanks so much,
Yeah.
guys.
Thank you so
Alrighty.
much. Okay.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Take care.